Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Well, Miguel Cabrera continues to work his magic. Last night, Cabrera homered again for the 29th time in the first half, a record for the Tigers for home runs before the All-Star break. Mickey and the Tigers hoping to bounce back here tonight in Game 2 in this series. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us for the second game in this three-game set. And the Tigers certainly hoping to put last night behind them, Rob. But when we talk about Cabrera, it seems like every single night he's doing something that nobody's done before.
You know, he almost is a lock to win his third consecutive batting title. And if he does so, it'll become the second time in about the last 100 years that you had a right-handed batter win 3 consecutive titles. Rogers Hornsby did it way back in like 1920.
All right, how about Rick Porcello tonight? He'll take on this White Sox offense that last night put up 23 hits on the board, but Rick in his last start against Cleveland was really good.
You know, he had his foot on that gas pedal early against the Cleveland Indians and often. He was throwing 96 miles an hour in the very first inning against the Cleveland Indians, and we really haven't seen him do a whole lot of that. Take a look at the breakdown on his pitches that day. Lots of fastballs, he threw quite a few curveballs, and he also mixed in some good changeups. This White Sox team had 23 hits last night. It's going to be very important for Porcello today, not only to throw fastballs, but he's going to have to mix in some really good off-speed pitches, because there's one thing the White Sox hitters are very good at. They can hit fastball, so he'll need to get that good sinker ball rolling tonight.
All right, we look forward to it here this evening. After a short break, we'll send you back at the Call Sam Studios and join Justin White. Coming up tonight, Victor Martinez. 2 more hits last night. He's hit safely now in 11 consecutive games. Tonight, Victor goes for 12 in a row. Tigers Sox next. Downtown Detroit, game 2 in this 3-game set featuring the Tigers and the Chicago White Sox. De Aza at the top of their lineup. It is presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, De Aza, Ramirez, and Rios. The top 3, Rios, of course, a 6-hit game last night. Dunn is cleaning up. Keppinger, the DH. Gillespie at third. Viciedo, Beckham, and Flowers, your bottom 3 tonight. Rick Porcello this evening, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Well, he's going to have a real good sinker ball here this evening if he's going to even his record at 500. He's looking to get to 6 wins. The earned run average just a shade under 5 for Porcello. Averages 2 ground balls to every fly ball throughout his career, and it's going to be a big pitch for him this evening. And let's take a look at the Tigers' defensive alignment. It is always presented by Beaumont Health System. Dirks, Jackson, Hunter in the outfield. Miguel Peralta Santiago back at second base here this evening, and Prince over at first. Alex Avila is the catcher.
Omar Infante still on the disabled list, so Santiago getting the lion's share of playing time at second base. Back out there again here tonight on a warm, sunny evening right now here at the ballpark. Tigers and the White Sox in game 2. The White Sox winning convincingly last night with a big rally late. And so here is Alejandro De Aza to lead things off. Rick Porcello ready to go to work, and here's the first pitch of tonight's ball game. It is in for a strike, 0-1. A lot of the White Sox hitters, because of the 23 hits last night, had 6 at bats. De Aza was 3 for 6. He scored a couple of runs. Rick ready with the 0-1. And it's fouled back. An excuse me swing there, 0-2. De Aza off to a .259 start this year. Alejandro with 10 home runs, so he's got a little bit of pop out of that leadoff slot.
Also driven in 40 runs out of that leadoff slot.
Pretty good. In fact, that's the second highest total on the team. That's a ball low, 1-2.
And a good breaking ball there by Porcello on the 2-strike count to De Aza. And Porcello said he would do as much today. He would mix in all of his pitches very early. That would be the curveball there. He also has the changeup and that fastball that hovers right around 89 to 91.
And the 1-2. Bouncing ball right side. Prince on the backhand. Porcello will have to beat the runner there, and he does. 3-1 on the putout. That's how we begin this one here tonight. Now Alexi Ramirez. Ramirez batting .281. He also last night was 3 for 6. And scored a couple of runs.
Something else that Alexi likes to do, he likes to swing at the first pitch. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a strike. He is very, very aggressive.
Porcello fires down low, 1-0. The power numbers for Ramirez are way down this year. Alexi has just 1 home run, and he averaged 15 a season his previous years in a White Sox uniform coming into this year.
It's kind of puzzling, especially the way the ball flies out of U.S. Cellular Field where they play their home games.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not like they're in a ballpark that is not conducive to homers. And you see the totals from 21 to 15 to 18, and he's projected to hit 2 this year. That's the pace he's on.
RBI numbers have stayed pretty consistent throughout his big league career.
Foul ball, third base side.
And they call him the Cuban Missile. A very tall, slender fellow. Very athletic at that shortstop position. And has a really good arm.
2 balls and 1 strike on Ramirez. A native of Pinar del Rio, Cuba. 31 years of age. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Bouncing ball left side. The shortstop, Peralta, to his right. And Ramirez is out, 2 gone.
And Rios had a night last night that we'll be talking about for quite some time. He had 4 hits off of Justin Verlander. The first 4 hits. It's the first time any player has ever had 4 hits against Verlander. He got 2 more after that. 5 singles and a triple. He also stole a couple of bases. What an evening for Alex Rios.
The last hit under the glove of Prince Fielder, but Prince appeared to be shielded by the runner, so he was given a hit. 6 for 6. And Rios takes ball 1.
And I bet in the 6 hits he got, he probably only saw about 12 pitches total.
Well, it seemed that way. JV was pitching a really good ball game up until that 8th inning, which really things fell apart quickly.
And tip of the cap to Verlander last night. He took the loss in the game. But he didn't really have good stuff last night. He only threw one fastball above 95 miles an hour. But he battled through 7 innings. He had only given up 1 run.
Yeah, he would end up with 5 earned runs in 7 innings, but he really did have to fight his way through that start last night and gave his team a chance to win for the most part.
What good pitchers do.
The 2-0 to Rios in for a strike. Got to go back to August of 09, the last time a player had 6 hits in a 9-inning game. You'll see it in extra inning games. Here's the 2-1 offering. Bouncing ball left side. Again, Peralta with a backhand. Hey, they got Rios this time. 1, 2, 3, they go. And we head to the bottom of the first. Miggy will hit third. Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers for Detroit. No changes at the top or in the middle. You've got Jackson, Hunter, Cabrera, Fielder, Martinez, Peralta, but you've got Dirks batting 7th tonight at left. Avila catching, and Santiago is back at second base tonight and batting 9th, and they are facing the right-handed offerings of Dylan Axelrod.
And Tigers are going to have to be patient. Axelrod's one of those guys that really picks on the corners. His fastball will not get above 90 miles an hour. He also throws quite a few curveballs, sliders, and changeups. He features a lot of off-speed stuff.
So Jackson will lead it off, batting .286. AJ trying to get something started here. Was hitless in last night's ball game. 0 for 4. Quintana pitched a really good one against the Tigers last night. Here's the 1-0. High fly ball. Left center field, not deep. De Aza cruising over, 1 gone.
Tim Hortons will sponsor the Chicago White Sox starting defense. Viciedo is in left. He homered a couple of times yesterday. De Aza is in center. Rios, he's over in right. Gillespie, Ramirez, Beckham, and Dunn in the infield. And Tyler Flowers getting his first start of the series.
Here's Torrey Hunter now with 1 out. Torrey 1 out of 4 last night. And batting a solid .304 as he is headed back to the All-Star game this year. And he shoots that one into left. It's a base hit.
Real nice job there by Hunter getting on top of that fastball from Axelrod.
1 on, 1 out as Miguel Cabrera strolls in with more on Miggy. Let's check in with Shannon Hogan.
Well, you guys, a big topic of Jim Leyland's pregame conversation today was Miguel Cabrera's back. A lot of people concerned about that. He said he is not concerned about it. He doesn't think it's going to be something that's going to continue for the entire year, but he is very grateful that Miguel has decided not to participate in the home run derby, you guys.
All right, Shannon, thanks. Yeah, I think that was pretty much a given, don't you, Rod? I think that really would have been too much for Cabrera to go through.
Well, he could have been selfish and accepted the invitation from Robinson Cano, but he's thinking about the team in the second half of the year and knowing how grueling that home run contest can be.
Miggy pops up the first pitch. Right side of the infield. Second baseman Beckham is there, and they retire Cabrera on one pitch.
Axelrod gives up lots of fly balls, doesn't necessarily throw a lot of ground balls. He's given up 17 homers this year, and the Tigers are going to have to guard themselves against trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark against Axelrod. They're going to have to take the same approach that Torrey Hunter had there, and that's simply get on top of the baseball and hit some line drives.
3 batters, only 4 pitches thrown by Axelrod. 2 out for Prince Fielder, hitless in last night's ball game. And Prince looks at a ball outside, 1-0.
As a matter of fact, of the 17 long balls that Axelrod has given up this year, 10 have come in his last 5 starts. So he's been serving them up.
Whoa. Well, maybe the Tigers will partake.
Might be an Arby's night.
Could be. Driven down the right field line. Hey, there's number 1. How's that for timing?
Yep.
2-run shot for Prince Fielder. 2-0 Detroit.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Number 16 for the Prince.
Prince got himself a little breaking ball. He got Miggy out in front on a breaking ball that was down, but Prince was looking for it. He waited on it, caught it just right, and plays long ball once again. That is now 18 home runs that Axelrod has given up this year. As a matter of fact, he's had 6 games this year where he's given up multiple home runs, Axelrod.
Yeah, including a 3-homer game earlier this year. He's a third of the way there. A 2-run shot by the Prince. Good start tonight for the Tigers as Martinez stands in. That floats outside, 1-0.
Big hit for Prince because he really hasn't been swinging the bat the way that he is capable of swinging the bat in the month of July.
Well, the average low in the month of July, but that 2-run shot perhaps will get him going a bit. Ball missing outside. Martinez, an 11-game hitting streak in which he is batting a cool .400. And misses outside, and it goes to 3-0.
Really no need in pitching to Martinez right now. If you're Axelrod, you have 2 outs, and even if you walk Victor, he's not going to steal second base. And you can go up against the right-handed hitting Johnny Peralta.
Pulled into right field. That's a base hit. Axelrod has thrown 5 strikes. All of them have been put in play.
And that gives you an idea of just how good Victor is feeling right now. He got the green light on the 3-0 pitch and got out in front of it and smoked one for a solid single to the pull field. Victor, nor Prince, nor Miguel, they don't necessarily like to swing at 3-0 pitches. He did there, though.
And as a result, he has a 12-game hitting streak. He continues to add to his season high. Ground ball foul down the third base line. Tigers continue to swing on those strikes thrown by Axelrod.
And they've had a lot of injuries to their starting pitching staff coming into the season. Therefore, Axelrod is filling in until they get healthy once again. The ERA approaching 9 in his last 5 contests. He's given up lots of hits. We've already talked about the gopher balls he surrendered.
The 0-1. Soft ground ball to second. Beckham has it there, and that is that for Detroit. But they take the lead. Thanks to the Prince. It was a 2-run shot to right. Tigers up 2-0. Brought to you by Comerica Bank, part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Dodge, the Dodge event is going on now. Come see what's new and get a great deal on a new Dodge vehicle. And by Dan and Oikos and Stonyfield Yogurt. Dan and Oikos, Greek yogurt, too delicious to be nutritious. Turning into a nice night here at the ballpark. Temperature in the mid-80s right now. Sun is shining, clouds breaking up. And Fielder already has a 2-run homer. It's a bouncing ball hit to the right side. Santiago from the outfield grass will throw out Dunn. 1 out. Well, stay tuned later in the game for a special look at the new film Grown Ups 2 in theaters everywhere Friday. Well, so far so good for Rick Porcello. 3 ground ball outs in the first and now 1 more here in the second.
Tigers also got Rick a couple of early runs in his last start on the 5th of July in Cleveland. And they scored 2 runs for him in the top half of the second inning, so he had an early lead in that game as well.
Ball 1 to Keppinger.
Porcello has had 3 starts this year where he has pitched 7 or more innings and given up no runs in the game. Did it against Pittsburgh, he did it against Minnie, and he also did it against Cleveland in his last outing.
It was the start against the Pirates that stands out. 11 strikeouts in 8 shutout innings back on May 28th.
No decision in that contest for Rick.
All outside. Yeah, that was the stretch in which the Tigers weren't scoring any runs. They went to Pittsburgh and played an extra inning game there and lost.
We ran into that Pittsburgh squad when it was hot. And apparently they stayed hot. They're one of the better teams in the National League.
On the outer edge, a strike 2-2. Keppinger 2 out of 5 last night, had an RBI. And batting .245. Keppinger last year parlayed a pretty good season with Tampa Bay into a 3-year deal with the White Sox. He hit a career-high 9 homers.
Tampa, by and large, got him just to hit against left-handed pitching. But he ended up doing so well that he got lots of playing time.
3-2. Strike 3 called. Keppinger is caught looking. First strikeout for Rick.
A well-located swing-back fastball by Porcello down south of the knees, and everything that he threw in that at-bat to Keppinger was away from him.
2 up, 2 down, 5 in a row retired by Porcello. Now Connor Gillespie, who last night was 1 for 6. He hits this one high in the air and deep into right. That one is going to go. That ball is out of here. It's a solo home run for Gillespie. His 7th homer of the year.
That fastball thrown to Gillespie by Porcello was right down the middle, and it didn't have much giddy up on it. It was only 87 miles an hour.
And it's sitting in the seats right now.
And a lot of times the 87-mile-per-hour fastballs that are straight right down the middle, they don't usually make it to the catcher's glove.
Each side with long ball now. The Tigers' lead has been cut to 1. Here's Dayan Viciedo. First hit of the ball game for the Chicago White Sox leaves the building. Ball outside to Viciedo.
And Viciedo hit a couple of home runs yesterday. One for sure was out of the strike zone. And the home run he hit against Verlander, that was a questionable strike. So he's got some bat range.
Here's the drive into right field. Torrey going back to the track, to the wall. He can't get it. It's off the wall. Viciedo is on his way to second, and he will pull in there with a 2-out double.
Torrey must have been fooled a little bit by the little bit of wind that's up there in right field, because he casually went back for this ball and it stayed in the ballpark. By the way he went at it, I thought it was going to carry into the seats, but it didn't carry into the seats.
Under measuring the wall, and then it banged right off the wall for a double. So the White Sox now put the tying run at second base. A couple of hits with 2 outs. Here is Gordon Beckham. 11th double of the year for Dion Viciedo. In for strike 1. Beckham having himself a really good month of July. 452 this month. He added to that with a couple of hits last night. And since coming off the disabled list, has done really well. Solid .340 batting average. He's behind in the count now, 0-2. Beckham, when he bats 8th, well, the numbers speak for themselves. 375 on base percentage of over 400. Porcello trying to keep that tying run at second base with 2 outs. And the 0-2. Grounded foul. Well, last night 23 hits for the White Sox, the most they have had in a game since May of 2009.
Weren't 19 of them singles?
And 15 of them came in the last 2 innings of the game alone. Rios had the biggest night with 6 of them. Right back up the middle on 1 hop, Santiago. And Beckham is out to retire the side. 1 run on 2 hits, the homer by Gillespie. And the search is on. Think you have what it takes to join Brittany and Stephanie as the new Fox Sports Detroit girl? Well, go to foxsportsdetroit.com, upload your photos, and submit your video. Tigers now come to the plate here in the second. Dirk Sevilla Santiago. Bottom 3 in the Detroit lineup. Facing Dylan Axelrod. First pitch is hit in the air down the left field line, foul ground. There is room, and Gillespie brings it in. 1 gone. We'll bring up Alex Avila. 2-run shot in the first by Fielder. Solo home run by Gillespie in the second. Avila last night 0 for 3. Batting 176. Axelrod last year spent the majority of the season in AAA, made 14 appearances with the big club. In injuries to Danks, Gavin Floyd. They're both on the DL, opening up some opportunities. There's a strike call. They also have Konerko with a bad back. So some of the major pieces for Chicago on the DL right now. Jesse Crane. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Avila. There's Paul Konerko. We are so used to seeing his name right in the middle of that lineup every single day we play the White Sox, but he's been out.
He has done major damage over the years against Tigers pitching. Major damage.
Here's the 1-1.
And there you have it. 44 home runs Konerko has hit in 223 games against the Tigers, and he's driven in 143 runs.
Missed it inside. 3-1. Here are the DL brigade for Chicago. Crane and Floyd. Forgot Peavy to mention him. Fractured rib.
Crane was off to some kind of start this year.
Jake Peavy actually threw a simulated game here in Comerica before yesterday's contest, so he's on the comeback trail. Robin Ventura in his second season as the skipper of the White Sox. Season number 2, not going as swimmingly as season number 1 was going. His ball club coming in tonight with a record of 35-52. Here's the 3-2. He tried to hold up one around, and Avila is out.
Will Little is the home plate umpire here this evening. He needed no help to make that call himself. First time we've ever done a game with Will Little being part of the umpiring crew that I can remember.
Yep, I don't recall his name either.
One of the veteran umpires must be on vacation.
Here's Santiago. In for a strike. Santiago at 162 has seen Axelrod just a couple of times. 1 for 2 against him. And Ramon takes it low.
I was teasing Santiago yesterday, who did not start at second base. The young kid Perez started at second, and Santiago had played all 5 games since Infante was hurt in Toronto, and I simply said, "Are you tired? You need a day off?" And he laughed, of course.
Soft liner into right, base hit. 2-out single for Santiago. Tigers have another hit on the board. That'll be their 4th of the game.
And trust me, you go pretty much playing sparingly like Santiago was playing once a week to 5 days in a row, your body's going to ache.
Your body's pretty much thinking, what's going on here? You get a game or 2 every now and then, but not 5 straight. Back out there tonight. And here is Jackson. Tigers tried to go as far as they could, or as long as they could, with Infante, hoping he would get better and be able to get back in the lineup. But there just comes a point where you can't play shorthanded as much as the Tigers were. So they put him on the DL. The 1-0. AJ takes outside, 2-0. Jim Leland's team winning 7 out of 11 on the last road trip. And a toss back, runner back in. Austin Jackson now 4 for 6 against Axelrod with a home run.
There are a lot of numbers, although the sampling is very small against Axelrod. A lot of guys have some real good numbers against him.
That's in there, a strike, 2-1.
Yeah, well located fastball by Axelrod. You really can't locate one any better, especially on a 2-0 offering.
Axelrod came into this one with an ERA of nearly 6 against the Tigers in his career. 4 previous appearances. His uncle is Barry Axelrod, the former player agent. There's a wave and a miss.
Very famous agent was Barry, or is Barry.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Played some of his college ball at UC Irvine, was an anteater in his collegiate days. Played in the College World Series as a senior. Southern California kid, born in Santa Barbara. And the 2-2 driven to left center field. Ball is hit well. Diaz is on the run, won't get it, up against the wall. This will get a run in. Santiago motoring in. He will score. Jackson has a triple. And it continues to own Axelrod.
Very patient at bat by Austin Jackson, who worked the count into his favor. 2 balls, 1 strike. Got an 86-mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle, and mechanically did everything right and bounced that wall up against the gate in left center field. And Santiago able to come all the way around from first and score.
Another 2-out run for Detroit. And Hunter trying to score Jackson now with a base hit. AJ's 2nd triple of the year.
Austin led the American League in triples last year with 10.
A little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is certainly a good ballpark for triples. Although many times you'll see them go to right center field. Torrey had a base hit, scored a run on the homer by Fielder. And he drives this one down the left field line. Hooking foul. Just a skosh out in front, 1-2. Torrey batting .361 this month. That was coming in. He already has a base hit tonight. 2-2. 2-out risk this season for Torrey. 300. And he missed outside.
Another packed house on a Wednesday night in downtown Detroit.
No weather worries tonight. It was raining at the start of last night's ball game. We had to endure a short delay last night, 38 minutes. There's a drive down the left field line. Foul. Again, Torrey just out in front. But tonight, nothing but sunshine. The clouds have broken up, which is good news. It's supposed to get cooler this evening, I understand. But right now, it's 85 at the ballpark. Again, the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Torrey hits the deck after striking out. Tigers get another run. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. Arby's mighty taste of Arby's Mighty Minis today. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire.
Let's get you caught up with the game summary. The Tigers got on the board first. They got a home run out of their number 4 hitter, Prince Fielder, on a breaking ball from Axelrod. He did not take the White Sox along the counter. They got a solo shot from their third baseman, Connor Gillespie, in the top half of that inning. And then it was Austin Jackson, after a Santiago single, tripling in the left center field to plate the third run of the evening for the Tigers.
And Porcello back to work. Tyler Flowers will start things off. We head to the third inning tonight, a strike call. Flowers, then De Aza, and then Alexi Ramirez. .205 this year for Flowers. So the rookie Fagley catch in the ball game last night.
And if Flowers doesn't start to hit a little bit better, then Fagley's going to get a lot more reps. One of the reasons why they did not re-sign A.J. Przinsky, they felt like Flowers was ready to take over the everyday catching duties.
1 for 16. 1 for his last 16 for Flowers. Although he does have a career high in the homer category with 8 this season.
A.J. Przinsky was a big part of the winning they did in Chicago while he was their catcher. They had some other guys that got a lot more notoriety, but A.J. Przinsky was the glue to that pitching staff.
Now Porcello's 0-2. Flowers fouls it back to the screen. Rick in the first inning got 3 ground ball outs. A routine 12-pitch first inning, but then the home run by Gillespie in the second put them on the board. And again the 0-2. Low, 1 ball 2 strikes on Tyler Flowers. Came up the Atlanta system and then was traded to the White Sox in 2008.
He's got some pop. He's got 8 homers. So you don't want to make a mistake up in the zone.
2-2. De Aza waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2 offering. Just outside. Now he's going full, 3-2. Rick struck out 6, walked only 2 in his last start. In fact, Porcello has not given up more than 2 walks in any start this year. But he's gone 3-2 here. And it's fouled off.
And the fact that he has been so stingy with the base on balls is really just a carryover from spring training, where he did not walk a batter all spring long.
Had a fantastic spring as the Tigers tried to decide between Porcello and Smiley. They felt that Smiley probably was better suited for the bullpen. Here's the 3-2 again. Nine pitch at bat now here against Flowers.
74 strikeouts this year for Porcello, 19 walks. That is nearly a 4-to-1 strikeouts to walks ratio. 2-to-1 is good at this level.
And he got him, strike 3. Flowers will head back to the bench. 1 gone. While we have a chance, to the studio we go. Justin White. All right, Justin, thanks. Here, the Tigers out to a 3-1 lead. They've out-hit them 5-2. Tigers 2.5 up on Cleveland, 5 up on KC. They're hovering around the 500 mark. Ball missing outside to De Aza.
You know, when you look at Porcello's numbers over his career, he comes in with 53 career big league wins. And only 9 other pitchers in the American League have more wins than Porcello since the beginning of the 2009 season.
Santiago unable to get that one. It'll bleed into right field.
Only 9 other pitchers in the American League have more wins than he does.
Pretty amazing.
I mean, it just validates how consistent he is. That ball hit the lip of the grass and bounced right over the glove of Santiago. And with the speed of De Aza, he may have had a difficult time of, after he dove for it, had he been able to field it, getting up and throwing De Aza out.
Here's Alexi Ramirez. Porcello with 10 or more wins in each of his first 4 big league seasons. He had a couple of 14-win seasons. Ball 1 to Ramirez. Ramirez really hasn't had a whole lot of success against Porcello. 5 for 31 now. Grounded out against him back in the first. Ground ball here might get you double play. Porcello started the game with 4 straight ground balls. Fly ball center field. Jackson will back up a couple of steps. De Aza will retreat. 2 away. That'll break up Alex Rios. White Sox last night snapped a 7-game losing streak here at Comerica. They hadn't won here in a long time. Able to break that string last night. But it's the Tigers that have come out early in this one with 3 runs on 5 hits. Quintana was awfully good last evening.
Yes, he was.
Rios looks at a strike.
His outing last night kind of got lost into the onslaught that the hitters put on the Tigers last night with the 11 runs and the 23 hits.
A quicker move that time from Porcello back to first base. De Aza just got back in there. 0-1 on Rios. Rolled foul, 0-2. Time now for the Bernstein advantage. It brings you the scouting report on 6-hit games, the history of them at least for the White Sox. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you. Here is the list of 6-hit games in White Sox history. You're looking at them, all of them. Rios the first since Lance Johnson had one back in 1995. Now the 0-2. Breaking ball. Bounce again. Avila able to block it.
Lance Johnson, for a guy that wasn't very big in stature, he was probably about, 5'10", 5'11", and he didn't weigh that much, but he used a 36-ounce, 36-inch bat. He used a huge bat.
How'd he swing that thing?
I don't know how he swung it. And he had some success doing so.
Quick throw, and again, De Aza just back in there. What did they call him? One dog?
They did.
De Aza 10 steals. He's been caught 4 times this year. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Rios goes down. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Porcello has his 3rd strikeout. Coming up for the Tigers in the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be Cabrera, then Fielder. Tigers own a 3-1 lead. And Miguel Cabrera will lead things off.
Here's today's high-speed stat brought to you by Charter Internet. And 28 home runs, 29, excuse me, home runs prior to the All-Star break, the most in Tigers history. Miguel hit number 29 last night. Of the 29, 11 have come right here at Comerica Park.
There's a line drive to right off the end of the bat, base hit. Miguel has his first hit tonight. It's a leadoff single.
And Miggy playing in any other yard would have 35 homers right now, at least 35 homers.
So here's Fielder. And not even Comerica Park could hold Fielder back in the first inning. A long home run to right. His 16th of the year. Strike called on the Prince right at the belt, 0-1. Axelrod gave up the 2-run shot in the first. RBI triple to Jackson in the second. And we'll see what awaits here in the third. Here's the 0-1.
He got a breaking ball that was hanging in the first inning and hit a 2-run shot over the right field wall.
Way out in front that time, and the count is 1-2.
And the slowest curveball of the evening thrown by Axelrod at just 71 miles an hour.
Axelrod now has allowed 11 homers in his last 6 starts. As Prince fouls it back, including the home run that Fielder hit tonight. Really good numbers in the minor leagues. 31-18 lifetime, 289. Over 6 minor league seasons. Big leagues, though, have been a bit of a different story. Ball high. 2-2 on Fielder. Victor Martinez on deck. He's already extended his hitting streak. Bouncing in. Cabrera trying to get to second. Here's the throw. He's going to be out. Miggy thought he could get there, and Flowers cuts him down.
It's a breaking ball down that Flowers does a nice job at smothering, but Miguel was already on his way. And Flowers able to get up and make a real nice throw down to second base for the first out of the inning.
Made it close. 3-2 pitch. Driven to right field. Base hit. So the Tigers get that base runner right back. 1 on, 1 out. 2 out of 2 now for Prince Fielder. He's going to bring up Martinez. Victor coming off a tremendous road trip in which he had 16 hits. Had a base hit back in the first. He sits safely now in 12 straight.
And it really doesn't matter which side of the dish he's swinging the bat from right now. He is hot, batting right-handed and left-handed. That batting average now for Victor up over 250.
And climbing. Yes, it's not inconceivable by the end of the season if he continues to have a really good second half to get up to that 270, 280 range.
Oh, he'll be over 300.
Longest hitting streak in Victor's career, 25 straight. Here's the 0-1. Flowers blocks another. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hey, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. 1-1 on Martinez. First baseman Dunn is behind Fielder, trying to hold him close. Here's the 1-1. pulled into right field, base hit. Another hit for Victor. He's 2 for 2.
Victor's just on fire right now. And he's got the whole plate covered, whether the ball's up or down, inside, outside. He's got a sweet swing going right now.
And the Tigers trying to add to a 3-1 lead here in the third. That'll bring up Johnny Peralta with runners in scoring position this year, 347. Tigers have 8 hits already against Axelrod, and looking to add to their 3-1 lead. Johnny bounced out his first time. Sends a ground ball to third, foul. Johnny has a hitting streak of his own that he's trying to extend tonight, an 8-gamer. Average at .302 on his way to the All-Star game this year. And Peralta's done some of his best work here at home. In fact, there are only 2 other players that have a better home batting average than Johnny, and that would be Cabrera and Dustin Pedroia. 1-1.
Well, you pretty much know what you're going to get from Axelrod when runners are in scoring position, whether you're batting left-handed or right-handed. He gives you a lot of change-ups, sliders, and curves. Not many fastballs. If he does throw the fastball, it's pretty much for show.
Two and 1. Axelrod was originally drafted by the Padres, then released. He went down to play independent baseball. Try and get back to the big leagues, or at least get back into professional baseball to get to the big leagues. And then was signed by the White Sox. Bender that's in for a strike. 2-2. Axelrod actually made his first career start against the Tigers in 2011. He was pretty good on that day. 8 strikeouts in 6 innings, 2 runs. Now 50 thrown by Axelrod. Fielder at second, Martinez at first. The 2-2. Back out of play.
They got pretty good arms in their outfield on the corners. Viciedo in left field has a really good arm from that position. And De Aza not so much in center, but Rios can really throw in right. 8 assists this year for Alex Rios from that right field position.
Fouled off. Three to 1. Tigers have the lead. We're playing in the bottom of the third inning here at Comerica Park. We're in Detroit tonight. Game 2 of the series. Mario Impemba, Rod Allen, Shannon Hogan with you from the ballpark this evening. Marquez Stefano, Brian Moss producing and directing in the truck. And again the 2-2. 3-2.
Interesting to see what Jim does here on the 3-2 count and 1 out, and really not a lot of speed on the base pass. I'm going to say he might send him because Axelrod is not necessarily a strikeout pitcher, but we'll see.
He's stepping off. This will be the 9th pitch coming up in this at bat. It's been a lengthy battle here for Peralta. And the runners are going. It's a ball. Ball 4. That's going to load him up. And Don Cooper will make a visit out to the mound. First walk of the ball game now for Axelrod. He's in some hot water here. By the way, next Tuesday, baseball's greatest stars gather in the most exciting city in the world for the biggest event in the summer. Baseball's Midsummer Classic returns to New York with home field advantage for the World Series on the line. It's the 2013 Major League Baseball All-Star Game, live from New York, next Tuesday, only on Fox.
And Jim Leyland will be managing the American League squad, and no doubt he'll be looking to get a win because his squad is picked to go very deep in the playoffs this year, and home field advantage has been huge in the World Series the last decade.
Seemed to be pretty big last year for the San Francisco Giants, who swept the Tigers. They had the first couple of games in San Francisco. Here's Andy Dirks. And Dirks looks at ball one. Skipper will take his entire coaching staff with him as well. There's fielder Martinez Peralta. They are loaded up.
And Jim also taking John Gibbons of the Toronto Blue Jays, their manager, and Robin Ventura, the manager of the White Sox.
1 ball, 1 strike. There's Ventura, who will get an opportunity to coach on that staff. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Dirks popped up in his first at bat on the very first pitch he saw. Now he's behind 1-2. Tigers trying to beef up this 3-1 lead here. And already some activity in the bullpen. Ramon Troncoso warming up. .57 thrown now by the right-hander Axelrod. Grounded foul. Andy with a mini 5-game hitting streak going. 389 during that streak. Flowers able to block another. 2-2. Tigers got 2 in the first on Fielder's home run, and then Jackson tripled 1 in back in the second. Now can Dirks deliver here with the bases loaded? Popped him up. Behind the plate. Flowers drifting, and he holds on to it. 2 gone. And he pops up for the second time in this game. That'll leave him loaded. And it brings up Avila. Struck out back in the second. 0 for 1 for Alex. Ball 1 missing outside. Avila had those 2 big hits as soon as he came back off the disabled list, and it looked like he was ready to roll, Rod, but he just not been able to find any traction offensively.
No, I'm right there with you. It looked like he was going to pick it up because he was not doing well before he went down to the minor leagues on that rehab assignment, but those hits that he got, they were the other way. But then after that day, he got a little pull happy again. Very important for Avila to use a left center field. If he's thinking that way, his hands are quick enough that he can make adjustments and hit the ball to right center field. But when he's thinking right field line, that's when he gets himself in trouble with his swing.
He's got himself ahead in the count here. 2 balls, no strikes. And he takes inside. Now it's 3-0 with no room on the bases. Axelrod right now in a heap of trouble. And Don Cooper gets on that telephone again. Wanting to know if Troncoso is ready to go. This will be the 30th pitch coming up in this half inning for Dylan Axelrod. And it's in for a strike, 3-1.
Quite a bit of room on that left side of the infield with Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop, basically playing directly behind second base. A lot of room to work with for Avila on that side.
Took another one, and it's a strike call.
That might have been the perfect pitch to hit over in that direction. 3-1 count. The ball is down. You're looking for the fastball, and not all bad to swing at that pitch, especially in that count.
So it's 3-2. The runners will get a head start here with 2 outs. And it's driven to right field and down, a base hit. Prince scores. Martinez scores. Peralta goes to third and stops there, and Avila delivers.
Really nice patience at bat for Alex. He was thinking about going the other way, but Axelrod threw him a changeup up in the zone at 80 miles an hour, which forced him to get the bat out in front, and he hit a solid single and a great effort in right field by Rios. He nearly made a real nice play. And, of course, if that ball gets past him, and Peralta, he's able to scamper all the way home from first. He now stands on third.
Well, they nearly let Axelrod off the hook, but they get 2 more here to make it 5-1. Here's Santiago. Nice little lead to work with now for Porcello. And Ramon looks at a strike, 0-1. Singled, scored a run back in the second. Tigers got the 2-out hit from Santiago. Started the rally, and then Jackson cashed him in. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 5 runs on 9 hits now for Detroit. We've only played a couple of innings in this game. In the bottom of the third, the Tigers offense showing up early tonight. Here's the 1-1. Right back up the middle. Right by Axelrod, but Ramirez will throw him out. That'll end the inning. Tigers get 2 more, and we go to the 4th. Shannon Hogan.
Well, you know what, guys? The All-Star game is less than a week away, and that means the final vote ends tomorrow. And, of course, Joaquin Benoit is up for that final roster spot in the American League. So the push is on. If you are at home, that means you can vote as much as you want until 4 o'clock tomorrow. If you like Twitter, remember, you can do #BackBenoit between 10 and 4 tomorrow, and it is unlimited amounts of votes. And you guys, I have to tell you, Benoit saw that I was wearing this shirt right now. They're all down here. I also had a sign, like these people behind me. And Bruce Rondon wanted the sign. So Benoit came over, got the sign, and, you know, Bruce Rondon is just holding on to it. So, hey, they want to see you over there. See? Benoit is a ham. He wants to go to the All-Star game. So if you were at home, make sure you vote. You can go on the Tigers page, tigers.com/vote. Don't forget to do it. And Mario and Rod, I have to tell you, Mario, every time I'm by the foul pole, I'm sporting some kind of horrific outfit. Already, Darren Downs is like, Shannon, that doesn't match. The dress, the orange, it's bad. But you know what? All for, you know, back Benoit. I'm down for it.
You're a trooper. We appreciate it. All right, Shannon getting behind the back Benoit. How about Benny there going for some votes with his own sign out there in the bullpen?
Why not?
Trying to get to the All-Star game. If he is voted in, that would give the Tigers 7 participants this year.
Joaquin deserves to go.
Adam Dunn is leading it off, then Keppinger, and then Gillespie. Hammered down the left field line. That ball will slice and go foul. Delabar, Robertson, Uehara, Sheppers, and Benoit is your final 5. And Joaquin, I believe, right now is 3rd in that voting. So we've got some work to do. Jim deciding to go with some guys that normally might not have a chance. He was the one that selected the final 5. And some of those late inning relievers, setup guys, getting opportunity to go. One of those will go. One of the 5.
Setup men usually get overlooked for the All-Star game. It's usually a combination of really good starting pitchers and closers that make up the combination of the All-Star pitchers.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
But the last few years, there has been some utility men have gone, some setup men have made the team.
Even 50 now for Porcello. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Dunn is out of there. 4 strikeouts now for Rick.
And well located 2-seam fastball there from Porcello.
Here's Keppinger.
He's a big man, Adam Dunn.
Yes, he is. And he hit one a long way last night. Keppinger 0 for 1 with a punch out. Right back up the middle. Not this time. He'll single to center.
A little get-me-over breaking ball there at 76 miles an hour thrown to Keppinger, and Keppinger wasn't having any of that. He jumped all over it.
Here's Connor Gillespie. Home run back in the 2nd. Right now is the only Chicago run in this game. His 7th home run of the year. Gillespie last couple of years was in AAA in the San Francisco system. He pops this one up foul.
Very aggressive hitter. Very aggressive in last night's game. He loves that first pitch. Porcello, of course, looking for another ground ball. There has not been many White Sox that have been able to lift the ball into the outfield today against Porcello. Gillespie is one of them. As you mentioned, he left the building. Solo shot back in the 2nd.
The 0-1. Ground ball, base hit right field. Keppinger on his way to 2nd stops there, and back-to-back singles. That's a 2 for 2 night for Gillespie. Still only 1 out. That'll bring up Viciedo. 5 hits now for Chicago. Viciedo had a double, did not score back in the second. And now Jeff Jones coming out.
I like the way that Jeff Jones makes multiple visits during the course of a Porcello start, because Porcello, by and large, this year, there's been one inning that kind of gets him where he gives up a really crooked number. It's not like they're beating him up all through the game, but there's always that one inning. So Jones simply strolls out there to make sure that Porcello stays within himself and throws a ground ball here. Viciedo has grounded into 8 double plays because he's a big, strong guy, takes a big swing, doesn't get out of the batter's box that fast. He's a perfect double play candidate.
That was a very quick visit. Viciedo with 2 men on here, 1 out. Ball 1 outside. Robin Ventura was talking about Viciedo earlier this year, and that he's, at a time earlier this year, was just going up there swinging as hard as he could. And he wanted Viciedo to be a little bit more patient. He's hit 7 homers, 2 of them last night. Ball low, 2-0.
Changeup might be the best pitch right here to throw. Disguise it like it's a fastball, fade it down into Viciedo. Either he'll pull it foul or he'll hit it right to Miguel Cabrera.
Bouncing ball, fair ball inside the bag at first. This will get a run in. Keppinger coming around to score. Gillespie goes to third. 3 straight hits for the White Sox, and it's 5-2.
That is the last thing that Viciedo was trying to do in a 2-0 count. And getting a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Prince off the line at first, and he cues one right down the first baseline.
Two for 2 for Viciedo. It's his 28th RBI, and he's 6 for his last 10.
Last 2 batters, Porcello has thrown the ground balls, but they found some holes.
Now Gordon Beckham, who bounced out 4-3 his first time up. Fouls it back out of play 0-1. Beckham missed about a month and a half with a broken hand, and since coming off the disabled list back in early June is hitting at a .344 clip. He would be among the league leaders in hitters had he had enough advance to this point. Checked it. Did he go? He did not. Chad Fairchild down at first. Clearly held up. Tigers have 9 hits in this game. White Sox have 6. One and 2. Nice play on the carom there. Porcello's numbers against the White Sox recently have been good. In fact, he beat them 3 times last year. Rick was 3-1 against the Sox with a 1.98 ERA in 2012. To right center field. Torrey on the run, makes a tumbling play in right. A run will score, but Hunter takes a hit away from Gordon Beckham.
We've seen Torrey do a lot of this over the years, and we've seen him do it a few times already in a Tigers uniform. Basically reaches down, makes sure the glove stays underneath, the ball doesn't hit the carpet, and he just simply rolls, gets up, and fires the ball back into the infield. Good base running by the runner down at third base. That would be Gillespie, who went back to tag up. Didn't get fooled thinking that was going to fall in.
So Beckham gets an RBI, his 11th of the year. It's 5-3. And a strike called on Tyler Flowers. He struck out back in the third. Rolled foul at home plate. 0-2 on Flowers. Porcello getting a little help from the right fielder Torrey Hunter with a tumbling play in right. Second out of the inning, however, the White Sox battling right back here. They gave up 2 in the third. They've scored 2 of their own here in the fourth. We'll see if Porcello can finish off Flowers. Ball low in the dirt. 1-2. It's 20 now here in the fourth for Torrey, or for Porcello. 64 total. 1-2 on Tyler Flowers. Swinging a high, towering drive left field. Dirks is going back to the track in front of the wall to make the catch. Yikes. That'll be it for Chicago. Could have been worse had it not been for this play by Torrey Hunter. The Tigers face the Texas Rangers at 108. All kids 14 and under receive a free Justin Verlander bobblehead. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Must be 14 and under. Score yourself a JV bobblehead.
Verlander is pitching on his own bobblehead day.
Well, that's a guaranteed win then.
I'll roll with that.
Verlander one more start prior to the All-Star break. Tigers right now on top in this one as they come to the plate here. In the bottom of the fourth inning, it'll be the top of the order facing Dylan Axelrod. Jackson Hunter Cabrera, 5-3 Detroit. In for a strike to start things off in the home half of the fourth. Austin tripled in a run back in the second. First hit of the series. Slow bender is in for strike 2.
The Tigers knew coming in that Axelrod was not going to overpower them. His best fastball, the highest velocity fastball he's thrown in the 71 pitches thrown, has been 87 miles an hour.
You just don't see that very often. The top fastball at 87. Here's the 1-2. 2-2 on Jackson. pulled on the ground to short. Ramirez backhands it. Jackson is out. One gone. By the way, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the new Detroit Tigers M&M McFlurry, only at McDonald's. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space and then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or if you prefer, vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. One out, nobody on. Here is Torrey Hunter. Bouncing ball slowly towards second. Beckham charges. 2 gone. Torrey 1 for 3 tonight. Axelrod, after that long third inning in which he threw 35 pitches, trying to have a snappy fourth. Cabrera's single pop-up. In the air, shallow center field. And it's going to drop, base hit in front of DeAnza, who was playing 1.5 miles back in center, and he just couldn't recover. Second hit for Cabrera.
Now you can see where he's at in center field. I mean, you can basically scrape some of that paint off the back of his jersey if he was back a couple more steps in. He took one jab step back, and then he tried to readjust and come in and make the play, and couldn't get there.
Here is Fielder. Strike one. Single homer for Fielder. 2-run shot back in the first. Here's the 0-1. And Axelrod again gets ahead 0-2.
He might come right back with another fastball here at 86 miles an hour and might just get away with it.
One ball, 2 strikes. Tigers now have 10 hits on the scoreboard. 8 of those are singles. They have 1 triple and 1 homer. The long ball belongs to that man right there, Prince Fielder. His 16th of the year, which gives him 68 RBI. Ball high. 2-2. Victor on deck. Slow roller back up the middle. Ramirez way across the bag, throws him out. And the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, so 1 left. Let's go to the 5th. Availability at 1-800-PICK-ATT, rethink possible. And by Grown Ups 2 in theaters July the 12th. Turned into a nice night here in the Motor City. Downtown Detroit, backdrop, the Ambassador Bridge, 5-3 is our score. The Tigers have the lead. AT&T trivia time. Alex Rios batting third in this inning, and here's the trivia question. Who is the last player to have 7 hits in a row? He didn't do it tonight because he had 6 last night, but he's so for 2 tonight. Last player to have 7 hits in a row. Top of the order, Alejandro De Aza standing in. Then Ramirez, then Rios. Strike one from Porcello. Single for 2 tonight for De Aza. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Pulled foul down the first base line.
Darryl Boston on the Major League staff for the very first time down in that first base coaching box. Harold Baines held that spot down for the last number of years. Darryl was a real good outfielder and #1 draft choice and for the White Sox back in 1981.
Bouncing in, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Last 10 or 11 years, he has handled the outfielders in the minor leagues. Good center fielder himself. There's Silent Harold.
I love that nickname.
David Ortiz overtook him yesterday for the most hits as a designated hitter.
Is that right?
Yeah, David Ortiz now owns that mark, but Harold had the most hits before Ortiz got a hit last night. Harold now is the assistant batting coach.
.20866. That's how many hits Harold put up in 22 years. Rolled towards second base. Gobbled up by Santiago. 1 away here in the 5th. Here's Ramirez. He's 0 for 2. Ramirez, we talked about his power, which has pretty much disappeared this year. Just 1 home run this season. Defensively, he has not had the type of seasons that he's had in the past. He's already committed 14 errors.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, which is already, Rod, 2 more than the entire season last year. And he's a guy that usually puts on a show defensively. Ball 1.
That's why we talk about our guy quite often. There are a lot more flashier shortstops in baseball. Ramirez is one. Escobar in Kansas City another. Andrews in Texas. That guy right there, awfully consistent. Awfully consistent.
Now the 1-0. Pulled foul. 1-1 on Ramirez. He is just 1 shy of his career high in steals. 19 swipes already this year for Alexi. AKA the slender fella. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off. 1-2. Porcello gave up 1 in the second, 2 more in the 4th. Rick now at 73 pitches in this game. And the 1-2. Rolled that one over to short. His opposite number gobbles it up. Got him at first base. Nice backhanded play by Prince. 2 outs.
Prince has said that big glove that he's using this year, the recommendation of Mark Teixeira of the New York Yankees, has helped him pick a lot of these balls out of the dirt. From a regulation size, that is about the biggest glove that you can use at first base. Lexi thought he was safe, but he was out.
Questioned Mr. Fairchild, but it appeared he was out. Here's Rios. Oh for 2 tonight for Rios. Alex on pace again for another 2020 season. At least 20 homers, 20 steals. And it would be the 3rd time that he's done that. Here's the 2-0. That's it for a strike. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Low, 3 balls and 1 strike. Remember when Rios came over from the Toronto Blue Jays and he really struggled, and many were thinking, oh my goodness, that's a bad pickup by the White Sox. But he's bounced back last couple of years. He hit just .227 in 2011.
Kenny Williams was the general manager when they claimed Rios off of waivers at the trade deadline. And J.P. Ricciardi was the GM in Toronto, and he said, here you go, you can have him.
Right.
And they took on a big chunk of change when they did acquire Alex Rios.
Here's the 3-2, and it's strike 3 called. Rios 0 for 3. He has struck out twice in this game. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. The last player to have 7 hits in a row. Rios had 6 last night, but couldn't do it tonight. Last guy was Olar Infante. June 30th through July the 2nd last week. Last player for Chicago, Maglio Ordonez, back in 2001. Here come the Tigers now. It'll be Victor Martinez. Then Peralta, then Dirks. Two more hits tonight for Victor. He's got a 12-game hitting streak. There goes that average up to 253 now. Tigers have put up 10 hits in this game, 6 for the visiting White Sox. Here's the 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Bouncing ball to third. They had him played nicely there. Gillespie right on the mark. One gone here in the fifth. Now Johnny Peralta. Walking a ground out for Johnny in this game. In for strike one. Axelrod coming out of high school. He played his high school ball, that is, in Santa Barbara. Was not drafted out of high school. He went on to play at Santa Barbara City College for a couple of years and then eventually transferred to a D1 school, Cal Irvine, where he went on to pitch the College World Series. 27 years of age, Dylan Axelrod. Fly ball, center field. That's going to be routine for De Aza. 2 down. And this Friday, the Tigers battle the Rangers at 7:08. All fans are invited to stick around and enjoy a fabulous post-game fireworks display. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
We got fireworks on Friday and Saturday.
We do. I know you're always up for a good fireworks show.
Yes, indeed.
There's a ball outside to Andy Dirks. He's 0 for 2. The 1-0 pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
And tonight looks like a Friday night crowd.
Well, last night, despite the rain, folks came out in large numbers. 37,000 and some change in the ballpark last night.
Looks like it may be a few more here tonight.
Fouled back out of play. 2-2 the count. Alex Avila waiting on deck, and he has delivered a huge hit in this game. 2-run single back in the third, which right now is the difference in this contest. And it's gone 3-2. Popped up, shallow left. Viciedo coming in, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Axelrod. 5-3 in favor of the Tigers. We go to the top of the 6th inning. The Tigers 5 runs, 10 hits, and the Sox 3 runs on 6 hits. Porcello back to the hill, and he will face Dunn, Keppinger, Gillespie. These are the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the Chicago lineup. And Dunn looks at strike 1. Dunn has 430 home runs, which puts him 44th all time. In fact, he's hit 11 home runs in his last 27 games.
It used to be if you got to 500 homers, you were mentioned in the same breath as possibly getting into the Hall of Fame. I don't think that's going to be the case with that.
You know, that's a really good point, because what I say, he has 430, so you can figure he'll get there.
Right.
But, and I never thought of it that way, but yeah, you get to 500 and it's almost a lot.
That used to be the barometer.
Got over 1,000 RBIs, but that career batting average at 238. Here's a 2-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Dunn spent 8 years in Cincinnati, also played briefly in Arizona and Washington for a couple of years before joining the White Sox. He shoots that one to left, base hit.
And Porcello has not given up many line drive hits here today. Most of the hits he's given up have been the ground ball variety. 7 ground ball outs already by Porcello off of the left-hander's bats and the right-hander's bats. He said he needed to mix in all of his pitches here tonight if he was going to be successful. He also has 5 strikeouts. He's got some on the 2-seamer. He's got 1 on the changeup, and he's got 1 on the breaking ball. So 5 of those total for Porcello.
7 on the ground, 3 in the air. 5 strikeouts. Keppinger the batter, and he takes a strike. Single for 2 for Keppinger. 15 hits now in his last 12 games. It's amazing how the absence of one guy can change the feel of a lineup. That's what the absence of Konerko does for Chicago. They still have Dunn in the middle, and Rios had a nice year.
Yeah, he's as important to their lineup as Miguel Cabrera to the Tigers lineup.
Now the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A lot of injuries that the White Sox have had to overcome. A few of them in the rotation, but Konerko certainly a big piece offensively that's missing. That's a good look. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball right to the first baseman. Fielder fields it in foul ground. And Will Little says, nope, it's a foul ball.
You can hear Will Little making the call.
Foul, foul, foul!
And for those of you wondering why the first base umpire wouldn't make that call, the ball has to go past the bag, and then it's the first base umpire's call. If it doesn't go past the bag, the umpire has the call on the third base line and the first base line.
That one is going to be a fair ball. Santiago to second, 1 relay to first. Double play. 4-6-3.
And you knew it would be just a matter of time before Porcello threw a ground ball double play. And we already talked about the fact that he had 7 ground ball outs before that one.
Here's Connor Gillespie with 2 outs. 2 out of 2 for Gillespie. He's gotten Porcello for a homer, a single, and he has scored twice. We'll get back into the seats. Action in the Detroit bullpen. Bruce Rondon. Here's the 0-1. 0-2.
'92 and a top fastball tonight for Porcello. 74 with his curveball. Xfinity provides those readings for us. Rick was all the way up to 96 in his last outing in Cleveland.
Got him looking. Strike 3. That'll be it for the White Sox. Porcello another punch out. On our way to the bottom of the 6th. Of your choice for as low as $26 per game with the Summer 8-pack, which includes a commemorative Tigers coin and a Tigers Club Access Pass. Call 313-471-2255 or visit Tigers.com/Summer8 and enjoy Tigers baseball in style.
Avila got himself a really big hit the last time that he was up. He got himself a 3-2 changeup, and his bat was sped up by Axelrod, and he whistled one in the right field to drive in a couple of runs. It was starting to look like the Tigers weren't going to score that inning. Miguel was thrown out, trying to advance on a wild pitch, and then you had Dirks popping up with one out. But Avila got him out of it.
Bounce to second base. Beckham has it there. One pitch, one out. Meanwhile, Axelrod has settled into this one.
Well, he has done exactly what most of us knew that he would do. He has not thrown very many fastballs, and when he has thrown a fastball, he's just kind of showed it to the Tigers in the vicinity of the strike zone. But a lot of breaking balls, lots of change-ups.
He's retired 8 of 9 now as Santiago stands in 1 for 2 for Ramon.
A lot of room to bunt for a hit if you're Santiago.
Nice call. He let it go by, though. 0-1. 5 runs, 10 hits, Detroit. 3 runs, 7 hits, Chicago. Foul tip into the glove, and the count is 0-2. Jackson waiting on deck. Axelrod now at 97 total pitches. Getting close to 100. He wanted elevated, and Santiago would not chase. A little bit too high. Ramon has a single and a run scored. Even it now at 2-2. Sanchez and Sale tomorrow here at the ballpark. How's that for a pitching matchup? will be the final game of this series, and Texas rolls in. And that was an even 100 for Axelrod. Santiago here in the month of July now has scored 6 runs in the absence of Omar Infante at second base. 3-2. And the full count pitch is high, walked him. 1 on, 1 out. Going to bring up Jackson. Robin Ventura pondering what to do. They've had action in their bullpen. Austin tripled to not get a run back in the second. Down the right field line, slicing away from Rios. Not going to get there. Souvenir. AJ now with 23 RBIs. Courtesy of his triple back in the second to not get a run. Troncoso is still warming up in their bullpen.
May not be a bad time to turn Santiago loose and see if he can steal a base. You know that Axelrod's going to throw a couple breaking balls here to Jackson. And that might provide the extra step that Santiago needs to steal a bag.
0-2. Tigers would like to rebuild that lead. It was at 1.5-1, but then Chicago got 2 back in the fourth. Tightening it up to 5-3. And the 0-2. Ball high, 1-2. It's the most that Axelrod has thrown in a game, you ask? 114 is the answer. At 106 right now. Swing and a miss. Jackson down on strikes, 2 away. Just the 3rd strikeout of the night. And now Axelrod will face Torrey Hunter here in the 6th inning. Fouled straight back. You see where Yu Darvish was placed on the DL today?
I did not see that. With what?
Shoulder fatigue, I think, is what I read. Something along those lines. They don't think it's serious, but they want to shut him down and have him come back after the break, so he won't pitch the All-Star game.
That doesn't leave very many candidates for the American League starter.
Nope, they're dwindling.
I mean, we're pretty much Max Scherzer and Felix Hernandez. Some could make a case for Chris Sale, who will pitch tomorrow for the White Sox, although Sale doesn't have the wins, but he's got the ERA. And he's got the stuff, too.
That he does. It'll be on display tomorrow. Max, of course, a big-time candidate.
Well, we might as well
Oh, nice.
get rid of Darvish because he's not going to be there.
By the way, officially it was the trapezius muscle.
You know, Chris Sale is kind of interesting, though, because he'll be the most rested, right? He's pitching tomorrow, so Tuesday will kind of be like his normal day to throw.
Good point.
But me personally, I don't see how Jim cannot go with Max Scherzer. He can't announce it until the day before, but I cannot see how he doesn't.
Undefeated. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball left side. Diving stop at third. Gillespie will have no play.
That might be one play right there. Although, the kids at home, anytime you can cut across and make a play, as Gillespie tries to do here, you do it because your momentum is carrying you toward first base. But the fact of the matter is he had to leave his feet. But then once you leave your feet, there's no play. Ramirez was getting ready to backhand that ball, and with his arm, they may have had a better shot at throwing out Torrey Hunter there.
Appears that's going to be it for Dylan Axelrod. He's thrown 111 in this game. Robin Ventura coming out, and he is signaled to the bullpen. So the White Sox will make a change here in the sixth. It's a wall side windows pitching change as they go to the pen. We'll be back. Two out, and as soon as the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live here from manager Jim Leyland, the players as well. We're going to break this game down and show you all of the highlights. Tigers Live immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit. Axelrod out of the game. He'll turn things over now to the bullpen.
Miguel's been standing in that batter's box. He hasn't seen Troncoso, but every single pitch he's thrown, Miggy's just kind of trying to time him to see what that fastball's doing. And that's why he is just so gifted, so smart. Baseball IQ is remarkable.
Former Los Angeles Dodger Ramon Troncoso is the new pitcher.
He's got some issues with wildness. He's only pitched 12 innings up here, and he's walked 10. He also has a big arm, and because he has struck out 10 as well in the 12 innings that he's pitched. His fastball will get to 96. He's got a slider. He's got a 12-6 breaking ball and a splitter that he doesn't throw very often, doesn't have much confidence in his split-fingered pitch. See if that timing worked out for Miggy.
Strike one on Cabrera. And Miguel looking back at Will Little and says, I don't think so. 447 this year with men in scoring position. Ball outside.
It's a good move by Robin Ventura. Don't know how it's going to turn out, but it's a good move. Cabrera had already seen Axelrod 3 times, and he had a couple of hits off of him. Why not bring in a guy who Miggy's never seen before?
Righties are 3 for 23 against Troncoso this year. And there's the base hit. Didn't seem to matter. Santiago rounding third. He will score. Throw comes into third base. RBI hit. Cabrera his 3rd hit of the game.
We sat there and watched Miguel time Troncoso's first 5 pitches, which were all fastballs. So he had a pretty good idea of the velocity. He takes the ball that's on the inner third of the plate, pulls the hands in, and slices it right past Dunn and Gordon Beckham, the second baseman. Yeah, let's take a look at it. First pitch breaking ball, didn't like that one. Another breaking ball. He knows he's going to get a fastball sooner or later. He gets it, and he's not greedy with it. It's a Bill Tire pitch by pitch.
Cabrera's going to get to 100 before the All-Star break. You can just feel it. That's his 93rd RBI. And now here's Prince Fielder. Tigers back up to a 3-run lead. Another 2-out run for Detroit. He becomes the 6th player with at least 93 RBIs before the All-Star break. Here's the 0-1. 0-2 on Prince.
You know what else Miggy's going to do this month? He's going to hit above 295, and he's going to drive in 20 runs for the 11th straight month. He already has driven in 11 this month. And the batting average coming into this contest was 258, but it's probably up to about 275 now.
Here's the 0-2. Line drive to left. That's going to get down. Base hit. Here comes the throw to the plate. Not in time. Torrey scores. Tigers add 2 more. They lead 7-3.
That's good coaching by Tom Brookins. That ball was hit hard the opposite way by Prince Fielder. And we told you that Viciedo in left field has a really good throwing arm. But the fact that he was backing up on the ball told Tom Brookins that he could go ahead and send Torrey Hunter home. And Tommy Hunt and Torrey Hunter also needed all of this to make it home, because you could see the arm strength of Viciedo. Had that throw been on line, it would have been much closer play.
13 Tigers hits in this game. Torrey catching his breath. Cabrera 3 hits. Fielder 3 hits.
All started with a walk to Santiago.
Now Victor Martinez. And a ball low. 2 out of 3 tonight for Victor. Book is closed now on Axelrod. He'll be charged with the 2 runs in this inning, so he is charged with 7 of them for the game.
How about the at-bats by Miguel and Prince? A couple of guys that drive in 120 runs a year, but both guys simply taking base hits the opposite way with runners in scoring position.
So it makes him great. Fielder now, with his 3 RBIs tonight, has 69 driven in. 2 of them coming, granted, on a home run, but
they pick their spots when they try to hit the ball out of the ballpark. But when there's runners in scoring position, they are very unselfish.
Line to left and a base hit.
And so is he.
Victor knocks in a run. Cabrera scores, and it's 8-3, and that means Martinez has a 3-hit game.
Can't get Victor Martinez out right now. Troncoso has good stuff, 96 with his fastball. That one's at 93, and it's not bad location. And he had thrown the first 2 pitches inside to Victor. But Victor simply stayed the course and gets rewarded with another hit and another RBI.
So the Tigers 3, 4, and 5 spots in the lineup. 9 hits. And the wing of Johnny Peralta. More action in the bullpen for Chicago. David Percy has just begun loosening up.
They just brought him up, and they added him for Prince Fielder. And Robin Ventura said that they needed to add another left-hander in their bullpen to go up against the Tigers. And the main reason, Prince.
Strike called on Peralta.
Because the only other one they had out there was Matt Thornton.
All 8 of these Tiger runs in this game scoring with 2 outs.
They may overtake the Cleveland Indians for the most runs scored with 2 outs with that effort tonight.
Blocked by Flowers. Well, the Chicago bullpen came in with a 2.86 ERA in their last 12 road games, but they got roughed up here courtesy of 3 consecutive hits. Cabrera, Fielder, Martinez. Troncoso has not been the answer. Grounded foul. One-handed pick there by the skipper. One ball, 2 strikes. 8th man to bat in the inning. Axelrod's ERA will take a hit. He'll be charged with 7 of the 8 runs. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fourteen Tigers hits. Last night it was Chicago with 23 hits. Slow tap, third base side foul. With 1 out, Santiago from the 9 slot threw a base on balls, and that gave the Tigers a base runner. And then after Jackson struck out, 4 straight hits, they put up 3 here in the 6th. And again the 2-2. Ground ball, second base side, diving stop Beckham, and he will throw him out to end the inning. As promised earlier in the game, here's a special look at the new film Grown Ups 2. It's in theaters everywhere, coming Friday. in with Shannon Hogan.
Well, Mario and Rod, you guys know that this season has been a lot like tonight's game for the White Sox. Definitely not like the end of the season last year where they finished 3 games behind the Tigers in the AL Central. And Robin Ventura, their manager, actually was a finalist to be the AL Manager of the Year. I had a chance to talk with him today. He said it has been tough this season, but he's been pulling from the managers he played for, one of which, Gene Lamont. He played for them in the early 90s and says he has to learn from guys like that for situations like he's in this season. Back to you.
All right, Shannon, thanks. I had actually forgotten that he had played for Gino. Bruce Rondon is the new pitcher now as we go to the 7th. And the Tigers have an 8-3 lead. It's a wall-side windows pitching change.
And last time we saw Rondon, he was pitching in Cleveland, and in that 1 inning that he pitched, he did not throw one fastball under 100 miles an hour. Not one.
Here's the 1-0. Tardy. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dion Viciedo, the batter, then Beckham, then Flowers. 7, 8, 9. Viciedo with a couple of hits, double single. His single drove in a run back in the 4th. Tigers up by 5 again, now 8-3. Swing and a miss. 98 up the letters. 1-2. Bruce Rondon got a call up earlier this year for the Tigers back in April, but didn't stay here long. Went back down to the minor leagues, took care of business. And now he's pitching out of the Tigers bullpen. Here's the 1-2 to the shortstop Peralta. They get Viciedo for the first time. 1 out here in the 7th.
Pretty good outing for Porcello. Didn't walk a batter, but very seldom does. Had lots of ground ball outs. 6 strikeouts in the game for Rick. Another good outing. With the All-Star game approaching, I'm kind of thinking that Porcello more than likely will serve his suspension now that he's appealed.
Here's Beckham. Swing and a miss. Well, that would seem to make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would make sense. Just go ahead and give up. Serve your suspension.
Give up. Get that out of the way and get ready for the second half. 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes. Beckham had to be waiting for that fastball, and he finds himself down to the count 0-2.
Well, when there's a guy out on the mound like Rondon that can throw 100 miles an hour as a hitter, and have very little time in making the decision whether you're going to swing or not. And you will see some guys swing at breaking balls that are down because they're cheating on that fastball.
Fouled off the fastball there. 0-2 on Beckham. Sac fly to drive in a run back in the 4th. .14 saves down at AAA for Rondon.
Not much for him to do down in the minor leagues anymore.
Fly ball left field hit well. Dirk's on the run, still going back, looks up, and it's gone. A home run.
He got him a breaking ball on an 0-2 pitch at 88 miles an hour and smoked it into their bullpen.
Just the 2nd home run of the season for Gordon Beckham. That's 8-4. Rondon had him 0-2. He fouled off a fastball and then hits one out.
It's the first big league homer that Rondon has given up.
Here's Flowers. Strike called. Jeff Jones back on the telephone. More stirring in the Detroit bullpen. That home run, the 8th hit of the night for Chicago. They get one back. It's a 4-run game. Checked it, strike called. 0-2. Get back out of play. Rondon had 40 strikeouts in 30 innings at AAA Toledo. With that 100-mile-an-hour plus fastball. ERA was 1.52. Swing and a miss. 2 gone.
Today's whiff of the game is brought to you by Head & Shoulders, and it was Gillespie that struck out. The final pitch that Porcello threw was a real good breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Gillespie did not agree with the call from the home plate umpire, Will Little, but that capped off a real nice night for Porcello.
Here's De Aza now with 2 outs. Single and a couple of ground balls for Alejandro De Aza. He's already surpassed his home run total from last year. He had 9 homers, 10 this season for De Aza. And the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Bruce Smiley warming up down the Detroit bullpen. I call him Bruce?
You did. Whatever, it's all good.
It's Drew's long-lost brother, Bruce. Drew Smiley warming up. Bruce Rondon with the 2-0. Foul back out of play. 2-1 the count. Porcello going a total of 6 in this game and then handing the baseball over to Rondon, so the bullpen will try and finish this one off.
Porcello only threw 93 pitches, but Jim doesn't let him go much more than that anyway.
Here's the 2-1 outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Rick's season high this year, 106. Once he gets near that 100 mark, you know it's pretty much time's up for Porcello. And tonight 93, as you mentioned. Here's the 3-1. Pull down the right field line. It's a foul ball. Ramirez would be next if De Aza were to reach. Home run by Beckham here in the 7th inning has made it 8-4. Bruce Rondon, the Tigers minor league pitcher of the year last season. And he lost it, ball 4. Two-out base runner has the skipper a little bit agitated. That'll bring up Ramirez. And Alexi in this ball game 0 for 3. Driven down the left field line, foul. The Rondon fastball in this game anywhere from 96 to 98. seen it as high as 102. What's Amaya throw at his highest? Do you remember?
I think Joel might have even got up to 103, 104. Not many relievers touching 100. Kimbrel, the closer of the Atlanta Braves, can get up to triple digits. And the kid in Cincinnati, the left-hander, can get up to triple digits. Drawing a blank on his name. What's his name? Chapman? Roldis Chapman. Roldis.
That'll get away from Avila, advance the runner. It's a wild pitch.
Mr. Rondon's average fastball is nearly 99 miles an hour. That is the fastest average fastball in the show. It's going to be some growing pains with Rondon, but they will need him on this staff if they're going to get to where they need to get to.
Just recently, Jim Leland saying it's starting to look like the bullpen is sorting itself out. Starting to get into sync a little bit. They had difficulties, obviously, last night. And that eats up Avila again. To the backstop it goes. Advance the runner. Boy, Alex right now is fighting for his life. Another wild pitch. Two and one the count.
Nice leadership skills shown here by Santiago, the elder statesman in that infield. And the littlest one out there.
You calling him old?
He's older than everybody in that infield, isn't he?
Cabrera, yes. Peralta, yes. Fielder, yes. I guess so. He's certainly older than Rondon. Now the 2-1. Line drive, right field, slicing, fair ball. It'll go to the corner and get another run in. It's going to be extra bases for Ramirez, who takes the turn and holds with a 2-out double, and all of a sudden now it's 8-5.
And Lexi got a fastball and simply sliced it down that right field corner, and for another double and an RBI.
First hit of the night for Ramirez, his 19th RBI, and now the Tiger lead is cut to 3. Jeff Jones trying to calm him down a bit. Tigers fans, you have the final say. Vote for Joaquin Benoit as the final American League All-Star. Go to MLB.com, vote/vote, that is, MLB.com/vote, and cast your 2013 All-Star Game final vote. Send Joaquin Benoit to the All-Star Game in New York. Voting ends 4 p.m. Eastern, Thursday, July 11th. And here are the final 5 guys. Make sure Benoit gets there. Pause. Doing all he can. Here is Alex Rios. 0 for 3 tonight. Couple of strikeouts. Ball 1. Rios, after a 6-hit game last night, has struck out twice and bounced out. Ground ball back up the middle. Santiago backhands it. That'll end the inning. 2 runs for the White Sox. Time to stretch. Trailing the Tigers tonight 8-5 as we go to the bottom of the seventh. The Tigers offense again clicking with 2 outs. In fact, all 8 runs scored with 2 outs. Fielder 3 out of 4 with a homer, 3 RBIs, and Rick Porcello his 10th start of 6 or more innings and 3 earned runs or less. And you total that all up to a 3-run lead for Detroit. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, we have a new pitcher on for the Chicago White Sox. It's a left-hander. David Percy is on.
And they just added Percy to the roster when they got ready to come to Detroit, knowing they need another left-hander in that bullpen to try to maneuver their way through Prince Fielder late in games. He comes in right now to face the left-handed Andy Dirks.
Former Detroit Tiger David Percy, who was acquired from the A's in the Scott Sizemore deal back in 2011.
Former high-round draft choice of the Toronto Blue Jays. He used to have a fastball that was in the mid-90s, but command was an issue for Percy early in his career.
Andy Dirks will start things off here in the bottom of the 7th. Dirks, Avila, Santiago. Tigers have 8 runs, 14 hits. White Sox 5 runs, 9 hits. Ball 1 inside to Dirks. 0 for 3 in this game for Andy. He popped it up. Right side of the infield. Beckham to the grass. Calling for it. 1 out. An 0 for 4 night tonight now for Dirks. We'll bring up Avila, who had one of the clutch knocks of this game back in the 3rd, a 2-run single with 2 outs to make it 5-1 Detroit at that point. Tiger box score looks like this. The middle of the lineup, total those numbers up. Pretty impressive. Percy signed as a free agent by Chicago. It was in mid-November. Made his White Sox debut on July the 5th in Tampa. In there for a strike. Most of this season at AAA Charlotte. Ball high. That's in there. 2-2 on Avila. Alex now with 20 RBIs, courtesy of his 2-run single back in the 3rd. Run 6th for Detroit remains the difference in this game. RBI hits by Cabrera, Fielder, and Martinez consecutively. Way outside. 3-2. Santiago waiting on deck. He started the rally back in the 6th. Popped up, straight up, middle of the infield. Beckham, Ramirez, Beckham. 2 outs. Going to break up Santiago. Really is amazing how proficient the Tigers have been with 2 outs in scoring runs. Got a 2-out homer in the 1st inning by Fielder. 2-out 2-run single by Avila. 2-out RBI triple by Jackson.
Best team in the American League in that regard. Scoring runs with 2 outs.
Ball 1 to Santiago.
They have finally overtaken the Cleveland Indians with the 8 they have scored this evening.
One ball, one strike. Percy was named an All-Star this year in the International League with Charlotte. His appearance on July the 5th with Tampa, or against Tampa, was his first since wearing a Tigers uniform in the 2011 season. So he's made his way back to the big leagues. That's some tough luck right there for that guy in the green. He had the baseball and it popped right out of his hands. Some dude below him after fighting for it. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. Santiago will run, but Flowers will throw him out, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Percy. Let's go to the 8th. Trying to even up the series here, Rod, with a victory tonight. They got some good work tonight from Rick Porcello. He continues to just make strides and has certainly pitched well enough to win here tonight.
And he really started to mature. I like the adjustments that he made. He was throwing real hard 5 days ago against Cleveland. He didn't want to come out here with his foot on the gas pedal early against the White Sox because they're a good fastball hitting team. He threw a lot of breaking balls at the bottom of the strike zone, lots of good sinker balls. He had 8 ground ball outs, 5 strikeouts. They were only able to elevate the baseball a few times in the outfield. So real nice outing for Porcello, looking to get his 54th career big league win. And only 9 other pitchers have more wins than Porcello does since the beginning of the 2009 season. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good, and the middle of the lineup doing his job as well here tonight, Rod. You talk about the 3, 4, and 5 guys. They've gotten it done.
Well, they got 9 hits between them. Then you add in the 2 that Torrey Hunter has and the one that Jackson has. That top 5 of that lineup tonight has just been awesome for the Tigers.
So the Tigers go right back to the bullpen. 1 inning of work for Rondon, and Drew Smiley will take over now for Detroit.
And Drew Smiley, all-star type numbers this year, 4-0, with an ERA just a shade above 2. 55 strikeouts for Smiley and only 14 walks.
Adam Dunn leading it off. It'll be Dunn, Keppinger, and Gillespie facing Smiley. 8 runs, 14 hits. Detroit, 5 runs, 9 hits for Chicago. The 1-1 is bounced left side of the infield, charging Cabrera. And Dunn is out by a step, maybe less than that. He thought he was safe. Not so, says Chad Fairchild.
And Miggy comes in and he gloves it. He gets it over to the throwing hand, and just before that left foot of Dunn's And it gets on the bag.
Ooh. Cannot get much closer than that.
Nope. Had Drew Smyly not started the year as the long guy in the Tigers bullpen, pitching in a lot of games where the game really was out of hand one way or another, he would be getting some serious consideration for the All-Star team, and he probably did get some serious consideration. But the fact that he pitched so many innings early as a long man and not enough in that 8th inning or 7th inning is probably what kept him off. Had he started the season as the 7th inning guy or 8th inning guy and posted the kind of numbers that he has right now, he probably would be going.
1 ball, 1 strike. On the ground with the shortstop Peralta. That's automatic, 2 gone. I guess the flip side of that is, though, maybe he had those really good numbers because he had the multiple inning outings and had a chance to pile up some numbers.
Oh, that's a fact. But very few guys that start the season as a long guy in their bullpens get an opportunity to make an all-star team.
Well, obviously, Drew's still very young, and so he'll have his opportunities in the future as Gillespie stands in. Homered in the 2nd and has a single as well. A couple of runs scored. Smyly gets ahead 0-1. Drew with a couple of ground balls here in the 8th. 1 off the bat at Dunn, 1 from Keppinger. Smyly working quickly. The 0-1. Swing and a miss out in front of the off-speed breaking pitch. And it's 0-2. Swing and a miss struck him out, and that was lickety-split for Drew Smyly. 1-2-3-8. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the 8th, leading 8-5.
Run lead over the Chicago White Sox, and just like we promised you earlier in the game, it is Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Prince Fielder got his squad on the board very early in this contest with a 2-run shot to right field. He got a breaking ball from Axelrod, who started and hit it out for his 16th homer of the year.
So far, good night for the Tigers. Middle of their lineup has done well. Porcello pitched well tonight. Got a new pitcher now for the Chicago White Sox, Simon Castro.
At 2.25 ERA for Castro. And 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He's only been in a couple of games. One of those was last night.
Here's Jackson. He'll lead it off in the bottom of the 8th. Strike called. Austin has an RBI triple to his credit tonight. Swing and a miss. The incredible thing about Jackson is he's on pace to score 98 runs this year, almost 100, and he's missed a month of the season. But still on pace to get to that magic 100 marker. The 0-2 is just off the plate.
With guys like Hunter and Miggy and Fielder and Victor and Peralta behind him, if he stays the course, he'll touch home plate 100 times again.
Torrey waiting on deck. Here's the 1-2. It's lifted in the air. Shallow right field. Base hit. Jackson's second hit of the ball game. "15 Detroit hits tonight."
Something Jackson has not done since really coming off the disabled list, and that's attempt to steal. I don't know if it's Jim just kind of protecting that left hamstring, or it's the fact that this offense has started to click on that road trip that they were just on, and he'd stay there and allow the guys that are hitting behind him to drive him in.
Ground ball foul. 6 out of 7 this year for Jackson in the stolen base category.
The one time that he was caught, it was a hit and run. Austin didn't get a very good jump and was thrown out at second.
Of the 15 Tigers hits tonight, 13 of them have been singles. They also have a triple and a homer. Conan Benoit beginning to warm up in the Detroit bullpen. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looks like it might be Benoit if the score stays at a 3-run spread, and if they were able to score some more runs, then it might be Luke Buchanan.
Makes sense. 1 ball, 1 strike. Couple of singles, couple of runs scored for Torrey tonight. Castro is a big boy. He is listed at 6'5", 230. Native Dominican. All of his time prior to this year in the minor leagues. And he slings one high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. High again, 3-2. Inning start with a single by Jackson. There's Cabrera waiting on deck. One more between these two teams tomorrow, then Texas will come to town for a 3-game weekend set. And then it's the All-Star break. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second on the tag in time. Strike him out, throw him out. 2 outs.
It's a breaking ball that Torrey Hunter swung through, and Flowers comes up with a really good throw down to second base. Beckham grabs it and applies the tag to Jackson.
Base is empty. Here is Cabrera. A 3-hit night tonight from Miguel. Swing and a miss.
Miguel already with 7 games this year where he has 4 or more hits in the game. If he does it again, it'll be a record for the Tigers in a season. And it's only July 10th.
Popped up. First base side, Dunn makes the play, and the inning is suddenly over. So we will go to the 9th. If the Tigers can complete their win here tonight, 8-5 in favor of the Tigers. The Indians 2.5 back of Detroit. KC 5.5 back. That's how the Central Division standings look. And the Tigers will bring in Joaquin Benoit to try and close this one down.
He's been perfect as far as the saves and the saves opportunity department. 7 for 7. And Joaquin has a 1.73 earned run average. He doesn't walk many. And he has struck out 46 this year in 35 games.
Go to MLB.com/vote and vote for Joaquin Benoit to get to the All-Star game. The business at hand here is to get the White Sox bottom 3. Dion Viciedo leads it off in a 3-run game. Way high to the backstop it goes. 1 ball and no strikes on Viciedo.
With that 1.73 earned run average that Joaquin brings into the game, that ranks 4th among American League relievers.
Two out of 3 for Viciedo. Fouled straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. 27 of the 30 teams have changed closers since the start of the 2011 season. There have been 3 constants: Rivera, Kimbrel, and Perez. Now, the Yankees, Atlanta, and Cleveland, respectively.
Since 2011?
Since 11. Wow. Can you believe that? I mean, that's an interesting stat. 27 of the 30 teams have changed closer. Joaquin ready with a 1-1. Bouncing ball foul, third base side. Viciedo with an RBI single in this game plus a double. And the 1-2. Busted him inside with a fastball to 95. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wouldn't chase. 3-2. Big night for Victor tonight, as well as the rest of the middle of the Tigers lineup. The 3-2. High, ball 4. Leadoff man is on. That'll bring up Beckham, who homered against Rondon back in the 7th. And Beckham now batting .343. That home run he hit was just his 2nd of the year. Not a whole lot of history between these two. 1 for 5 for Beckham, who now has a 6-game hitting streak. 10 for his last 22. Pretty good. And the 0-1. Driven to center field. Jackson is on the move. Beckham is out. 1 gone. So with Flowers due up, he will not bat. Blake Tecote, who came on in the ball game last night, will get an at bat here. Tecote 2 out of 13 in 7 games this year for Chicago. July the 5th, called up from Charlotte. 2nd time he's been up in the big leagues. Was called up earlier in April as well. He had 26 doubles down at AAA, 2nd in the International League. White Sox got the leadoff man on here. Viciedo with a walk. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Runner goes, and it's fouled back. 1-2 on Blake Tecote. Top of the order, waiting on deck, De Asa. They had Viciedo on the move. Same 2 teams tomorrow. It'll be Sanchez and Sale hooking up in day baseball here at the ballpark. Wrapping up this series, first meeting of the season between the Tigers and White Sox.
Yeah, second start for Sanchez coming off the disabled list. He threw 74 pitches in his last start against the Indians.
Cody's history, 2 gone. And so Joaquin now will face De Asa.
And he finished Cody off with that Vulcan changeup that he likes to throw. You can see the grip on it. Nice fading downward action away from the left-handed hitter.
One more out to get, and the Tigers will record their 50th win of the season. Runner going with no throw, strike called. Tigers didn't get their 50th win last year till July the 20th, and that as well came against Chicago. A little bit ahead of schedule this year. De Asa, 2 out of 4 career against Benoit. Smiley had a 1-2-3-8. Benoit here in the 9th. Indeed, both Benoit. Now the 1-1 in the dirt. Alex thought about throwing down to second, thought better of it. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And Viciedo took 3-4 steps toward third base. And before he regrouped and got back to second.
$39,000+ in attendance here tonight. Swing and a miss. And now the crowd will be coming to its feet. 1 strike away.
There's that changeup again. You can see the grip. It's almost like a forkball grip that Benoit uses to throw his changeup.
Two and 2 on De Asa. Benoit gave up the leadoff walk, but he's come back to get the fly ball, the strikeout. And the 2-2. Inside and high. 3 balls, 2 strikes on De Asa.
And Joaquin really hasn't commanded the fastball all that well here in the 9th inning, but that changeup has been his equalizer. And most of the fastballs have been up and in to De Asa. And wait, 1 more pitch.
Who's he come back with here?
Changeup for me.
3-2. High came in with a fastball and missed with it. So now you've got 2 men on. Tying run comes to the plate. Two walks in this 9th inning. Only 3 at-bats career for Ramirez against Benoit, and he's 1 for 3.
Benoit's 7th save, which he got just a couple of days ago in Cleveland. And he allowed a couple of runners on base before finally getting the final out of that game.
Ramirez had an RBI double in the 7th, his only hit tonight. He is the tying run at home plate. Strike one. .268 this year with men in scoring position for Ramirez. And he missed high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was the 20th pitch thrown by Joaquin Benoit. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2. And Joaquin again has gotten this thing down to 1 strike. Viciedo and De Aza on the bases. Ramirez the tying run. Grounded toward third. Cabrera has it. He'll throw across the diamond. Tigers win. 8 for 8 for Joaquin Benoit. He walked a couple here in the 9th, but in the end the Tigers salt this one away. Their 50th win of the season. Sox had a couple of runners, but Cabrera throws out the final out. He's putting this one in the win column for Detroit.